Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaeli Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, Fierce Leader. It's Kaeli here, welcoming you to the Fierce Factor podcast and to episode number 98. Today, we're going to discuss a very sensitive topic for some of you all, a topic that is so important. And I must admit, there's not a ton of great advice around how to gently adjust pricing in your business in a way that keeps your business operations running with lucrative profit margins, continues to attract the most ideal, most loyal clients, and saves you from a windfall of headaches and complaints. And you know me, I'm all about sharing practical wisdom that you can actually implement. So today we're going to discuss best practices for raising your prices. I want to go back for a moment. Remember when you first opened your business doors? You were so hungry for business that you would invite anyone and everyone into your practice. If you have a beating pulse and a couple bucks, you are welcome with open arms. And then you become a little more established and you start to recognize that your business is growing in spite of you. And patients begin to be willing to spend more for your services. Then you get in a real groove. And before you know it, 7 years later, you haven't raised your prices, but your operating costs have doubled. And I really believe that there should be a gentle price increase that happens in your business every single year. And for new services, you may consider adjusting your prices multiple times a year until you really figure out and identify a sweet spot. The sweet spot where demand is high, profit margins are lucrative, and you are slightly higher priced than your competitors. And I'll explain why I recommend this strategy later in this episode. So you start thinking about raising your prices and you freeze because you are dreading the pushback from your clients, possibly your team, because they aren't confident in their ability to sell a higher ticket item, and in your own mind, because you have complete imposter syndrome about selling high ticket. So this is what I want to address with you today. I want to help you get really comfortable with this process of increasing your prices routinely. And I want to share with you some of our most high-end clients' best practices for raising their prices. So I'm going to break this episode up into 3 parts. Number 1, I'm going to talk about why we at KLC believe in and teach high-ticket brand positioning in our academy. Number 2, we'll discuss when you'll know it's time to raise your prices. And number 3, we'll talk about best practices for implementing a price increase without disrupting the client experience. I suspect this week's episode is going to encourage you to take pause and evaluate how your pricing strategy is impacting your business model, your client experience, and your bank account, regardless of where you are on the spectrum of pricing. Okay, so first, I want to share with you why I believe in and teach high-ticket brand positioning in our academy. Here's a few reasons. Number 1, high-paying clients help you hit your income goals quicker. They appreciate your high value. People who pay attention, right? Have you heard this term? They actually contribute to the plan because they have invested. And so when people are paying you higher ticket, higher price for your services, they're actually going to be interested in investing their own time and their own commitment to the plan. They're going to be committed to their skincare routine. They're going to be using their sunscreen. They're going to actually wear a hat when they go outside, right? Because they know they paid top dollar for these treatments. Another reason why we believe in and teach high-ticket brand positioning in our academy is that you create high-priced results. Imagine someone helping you boost your overall self-esteem, meet the love of your life, transform into a person you've never dreamed you'd become. What is that worth? A few $100s or tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars? Leader, that's the kind of powerful work you are doing. When you position yourself at a high ticket, you can service fewer clients at a higher quality and provide world-class experiences and support because you have the profit margins to do so. You aren't scrambling to get more patients. You aren't trying as hard as you can to run this mill of fast-paced, I need more, I need more, I need more in your business. You can slow down and you can actually provide these higher quality, better experiences for your customers. High-paying clients, they seek out high-priced providers. They're actually looking for the best results, and they would know who is the best by the way they charge. So think about when you're looking for something, if you're looking for a high-quality piece of furniture, as an example. You know, if you're shopping somewhere, let's say you're looking for a couch and it's $100 versus a couch that's $3,500, you automatically know that you're paying for higher quality. And that's the same thing for patients when they're seeking out aesthetic wellness treatments. And finally, you can employ a smaller, higher quality team because you will have fewer cancellations and a steadier patient flow. Because remember, higher paying clients are more committed. They're referring other high paying clients. They're more loyal and they're more invested in their time with you and their own personal plan. So let's move into part number 2 of this episode, when you know it's time to raise your prices. Number 1, you can't remember the last time you did. So notice you were paying significantly more at the gas pump for your latte at Starbucks and your flights out of town. This great resignation hiring trauma has businesses staffing up at about 20% greater cost than pre-pandemic. Supply chain issues are causing supply and demand pressures, and manufacturing facilities are charging their distributors premiums for their products. So maybe you noticed your costs for neurotoxins raise oh so subtly. Inflation is happening, and it's up to you to put your CEO hat on and make decisions to protect the lifeblood of your business. It's all about lucrative profits. The next reason would be maybe you feel resentful because you have patients that you feel are spending less than they should for the services you are providing to them. And this often happens when we grandfather a patient into old pricing, we take too long to raise our prices, or we know our costs or the amount of effort it takes to deliver that service outweighs the price that the patient is paying. And if you start to feel these subtle nudges of resentment, it might be time to raise your prices. Another sign would be you find yourself giving away more and more freebies. People have mixed opinions about this. I'm of the mindset that if you want to give away freebies, go for it. It's your business. If you want the flexibility or the autonomy to walk up to the counter with a patient at checkout and grab a retail product or a sample or a little bit of this or that, you should be able to do that. But if you're finding yourself doing that on a routine basis, this is sort of a sign that you might want to take a peek at your profit margins. What is that actually costing you, all these freebies that you're throwing in? And it might be worth raising your prices if you feel like you want to have the flexibility to do that. And the next sign would be you are starting to attract a clientele that you don't necessarily enjoy working with. So if you're noticing that you're seeing patients who are not quite appreciating the value of being your patient, maybe patients who are nagging you for discounts or balking at a more comprehensive treatment plan, this is a good sign that your pricing may be positioned out of alignment with the value of your offers. So now let's just make up a random scenario that you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is all great, Kaeli. I agree. I need to raise my prices, but I'm scared. I just don't have the emotional energy to deal with disgruntled patients. I'm worried about patients that maybe they'll leave for a lower priced provider. I'm scared to position myself higher because after all, who the heck am I? If these thoughts have crossed your mind, this next section is for you. So now we're going to move into best practices for implementing a price increase without disrupting the client experience. So I'll begin first by asking you this question. If a patient was going to leave you for a lower priced provider, what does that mean about the patient? My personal opinion is that if a client is okay to leave a trusted provider for a slight increase in fees, they're likely not the loyal client you thought they were. And leader, you don't have time for that in your life. Think of it as another hour to spend with a client who trusts you, who values you as an expert, and who brings you joy and positive energy when they're in your treatment room. Think of it as an extra hour to walk on the beach, grab lunch with a girlfriend, or think and plan in your business. We need to approach this whole pricing strategy from a mindset of sufficiency first. I am enough. I have enough. More will come. Approaching this conversation from this place will instill confidence in you and everyone around you. So let's talk a little bit about the tactics. You'll first want to start by examining your most valuable buyers and focus on the services that they are investing in. Now, remember that 20% of your offers are responsible for 80% of your results. Many times, business owners just look at what's priced the lowest and will instinctively start there. But if you're not doing a clean sweep price increase across the board, you'll really want to start with your most lucrative offers first. Evaluate your margins on your top 20% services, all in, considering cost of goods, employee payroll, consumable fees, and don't tolerate anything less than a 30% margin. And trust me, there are a lot of hidden costs baked into every treatment. I recently did this exercise with a client, and she sent me a spreadsheet that showed a 50% plus profit margin on her IPL treatments. She has no consumables, so her cost is just $80 for her nurse. So she's charging $200 per treatment. Well, what we didn't factor in was the cost of marketing for that patient, the cost of ancillary staff, appointment scheduling, follow-up, post-procedure handholding, numbing cream for some patients, ultrasound gel, gauzes, dry cleaning, post-care topical products, lease payment, room costs, taxes, right? When all is said and done, her margins are in fact closer to 28%, which means she is only pocketing $56 per treatment. And if you are looking to earn $1 million, you'll need 17,800 treatments. That's 1,500 treatments per week. Can you imagine? On the flip side, she's selling a bundled procedure that includes IPL, microneedling with RF, skincare, and 50 units of Botox for $3,600 a pop. And when we did the same math, she's pocketing $2,200 in profits, which means she would only need 450 of these treatments to crush her income goals. Put one patient on a recurring revenue plan for 3 of these per year, she needs to book 150 patients in the whole year. So can you observe the distinction of how she needs to staff up and what kind of customized care is possible when she's servicing 150 patients versus 17 or 18,000? And this is why profit margins are critical and why high-end sales leader is your absolute key to wealth. The next strategy for elegantly raising your prices is don't compliment your price increase with an apology. I see this all the time. We have clients that are like, I'm going to raise my prices, read this email. And it starts with, dear customer, I'm very sorry, but we're raising our prices, right? Restoration Hardware doesn't apologize for offering a higher quality leather sofa. Hell no. They're proud to be known for their exquisite products. So why wouldn't you? You should be proud that you're raising your prices. You should confidently go into the conversation saying, it's that time again, we're raising our prices, or just as an FYI, our prices are going up. You can even use your price increase as a conversion tool. You can go to your patients and let them know that as of XYZ date, prices are going to be raised and they can purchase a certain amount of services or products, etc., at the existing price until that date. So you can kind of use it as a means to stimulate activity and for your patients to take action on sales. And then finally, stop deciding what your clients can and can't afford. It's really none of your business. So if you feel like, I don't think I would pay that much for that, that's really you putting yourself in your patient's pocketbook. Give them more respect. You cannot decide for them where they should and shouldn't spend their money. So simply give them the offer, give them an opportunity to get the highest quality service with you, the best results possible on the market, and then charge them appropriately so that you're able to do that in a way that fulfills you. I really believe offering a high ticket service is the ultimate sign of respect for your customer. What you're essentially saying is that you believe that they're worthy of the very best and that you are willing to invest in the top training, the best staff members, the premium products, and the innovation in order to provide a luxurious, unforgettable experience that they want and that they will brag to their friends about. And if you're still worrying about your patients and how they'll react to a price change, the work that needs to be done is still in your own mind. It's in building your own $1 million business confidence and the clarity around who your most valuable clients really are and should be. Leader, the work you are doing every single day, it's not mechanical. So don't price yourself like a transaction. Your customers are not buying a couch. They are investing in a significant transformation. But it is up to you to prepare your business in a way that affords them this privilege. If you are ready to become that CEO who is running a deeply satisfying, lucrative, freedom-based business that stands the test of time, I highly recommend you apply for our next class of Confidence to Scale. It's a 6-week business growth certification program that walks you through my proprietary framework and teaches you how to build a cash cow business in a very unconventional way, a way that leverages assets and not just hard work. How's that sound, leader? Look, I know you're not here to show up to your business and wear all the hats. You are building a legacy. You are creating a business that allows you to expand and grow as the woman you are meant to be, to transform in the woman that you will become. Price your services for what they are, life-changing, and watch how your life changes before your own eyes. If you're ready to dip your toe into doing work together, to get my brain in your business, to implement this, to make all of this a reality, you can schedule a call to learn more about Confidence to Scale and to discuss if this is the right fit for you. Thank you, leader, for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful. Just a few little best practices around pricing. This is a sensitive topic, like I said, but it's so important and it needs to happen. And you need to feel confident going to your patients and your clients who you think about and love and care for every single day and give them the very best that you have to offer. And before you go, be sure you head over to kaelcconsultants.com/interview boss to get yourself registered for this week's hiring masterclass. I am going to help you learn how to find the very best and brightest candidates to hire and how to be a vixen in the interview process. So if you missed the last session, we did our first Interview Like a Vixen masterclass 6 weeks ago, and it was so popular. We sold out. And by sold out, I mean just it's a free event, but our seats were full. And so we're going to host another one on March 9th and 10th. So we're going to have day 1, a session on interviewing strategies, and then day 2, a live interview role play. And for this whole program, you'll be given a comprehensive resource guide to follow along and really a rubric to dissect the live interview. It's like your own little interview lab. It's super fun. So head over and sign up. I would love to see you. I'm going to help you clue in on my insider tips for expanding your candidate pool. I don't know about you, but if you're like many of our clients, you're like, where the heck are all the good people? Learn to immediately recognize red flags in the hiring process. And then finally, for day 2, like I said, you're going to grab your popcorn and get a front row seat to a live interview. And if you want to grow a sustainable business, mastering the skill of interviewing, it's really going to be critical because the only way to scale your business is in a way that relies on human capital, assets, like I say, instead of your precious time and energy. And that means building a badass team who is capable of lightening your load. So if you want to take more stress-free vacations later, raise your prices pronto and sign up for this free crash course today. Again, the link is kaelcconsultants.com/interview boss. P.S. This free session will be limited to 20 participants, so be sure to snag your spot ASAP. Thank you so much for tuning in today, leader, and I cannot wait to hear all of your price increase success stories and see you in the masterclass this week. Take care. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Fierce Factor. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you subscribe so you can automatically get new shows every week. I'd also love it if you left us a review. And come join the conversation online. If you're an aesthetic industry owner, operator, or leader, please join my free Facebook group, the tribe of fierce ascetic leaders, a community of ambitious, purpose-driven professionals who collaborate and share best practices for growth in business and life. I'm honored you tuned in.